All right, let's go ahead and start. A rocket is launched at the top of a 101-foot cliff with an initial velocity of 116. Substitute the values into the vertical motion formula. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come up with the formula that we're going to be using. And y equals negative 16x squared. The initial velocity would be 116x. And what was the starting point of the rocket? 101. Very good. I am most definitely not going to factor this, right? Let me go ahead and do the... So you got a rocket, and he's launched, and he's going to go up and then down. Use the quadratic formula to find out how long the rocket will take to hit the ground. So I'm looking for one of my zeros, correct? Yay or nay? Yay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the quadratic formula to solve this. What's my A? Negative 16. What is B? 116. And C would be 101, right? Alright, the quadratic formula says that negative B plus minus B squared minus 4AC. That's in your... You probably know it by heart already. But don't panic if you forget about it. It's in your reference sheet, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start plugging in. It would be negative 116 plus minus B again. So that's 116 squared minus 4 times A, which is negative 16, times C, which is 101, divided by 2 times negative 16, and then the calculator takes over, right? And we're going to do it with a plus, and then we're going to do it with a minus. All right? So go ahead and do that in the calculator. Don't blur it out. So we're going to get 1x that is going to be negative, and then we're going to get 1x that is going to be positive. Okay? We got it, babies? We got to have at least one of them, right? If you did plus first, what did you get? Negative 0.79 or negative 1. You could have rounded to negative 1, but there's no way that the rocket hit the ground at negative 1 seconds, right? Before it even started. So that is taken out of the picture, so you need to do it with a minus, and that would have been 8 seconds. And this is the one that you are picking. Yay? Yes? Alright, let's go to number 4. Alright, so for number 4, it says, you and a friend are hiking in the mountains. You want to climb to a ledge that is 20 feet above you. The height of the graphing hook you throw is given by the function negative 16 x squared, t squared, because x is time, minus 32x plus 5. That means that whoever is throwing the hook is 5 feet tall, right? Yes? So you're throwing a hook so that the hook can grab, or what do you call that? I don't know what you call it. The hook can hook? So the hook can hook? Okay. Alright, so that the hook can hook, right? And then you can go ahead and climb, right? Yay? No, well, not Batman, but something like that. But anyway, so what is the maximum height of the grappling hook, and then can you throw it high enough to reach the ledge? So This is basically what you're doing. You have, this is you, you're 5 feet tall. You want to climb up, so you're throwing something that it can latch into here, right? And then you can pull yourself up with the rope. Does that make sense? Yay? All right, and then that ledge is 20 feet above you. So you want to make sure that that hook can reach that high before you go ahead and climb, right? So what are we calculating for? The what? The axis of symmetry, because it will give you the maximum height. Thank you very much. Very good. So I'm going to calculate for the axis of symmetry, which is negative b divided by 2a. Okay? All right, so that would be 32 divided by 2 times negative 16. So that would be 32 divided by negative 32, which equals negative 1 second, right? Because x is time, correct? This is your time, and this is your height. So negative 1 is obviously not the answer. So what do I have to do with that negative 1? Substitute it in the equation so that I can find my y, which is the height. Very good. So for my y, it would be negative 16, negative 1 squared, minus 32 times negative 1 plus 5. Good thing it's not a decimal, so it's really easy to plug in the formula, right? So do that in your calculator and tell me how high can that grappling hook. I can't hear you. What did he say? 21? Do we agree? 21 feet? Alright, so can you throw it high enough to reach the ledge? Yes, you sure can, because you only need 20, right? So the answer would be yes. Alright? Alright, so you're trying to dunk a basketball. You need to jump 2 feet in the air to dunk the ball. Now, that doesn't mean that the basketball is 2 feet above the ground, right? Just means that you need to jump 2.5 more. That's with your height. That means you're tall. Yes, you are. Very good. The height that your feet are above the ground is given by the function negative 16x squared plus 12x. What is the maximum height your feet will be above the ground, and will you be able to dunk the basketball? Alright, so if you're looking for the maximum height, what are you looking for? Your axis of symmetry. Now the x will only give you the time, right? I know. Just imagine it. Use your imagination. Think outside the box. It's like the coolest thing ever to not think like anybody else. Yes. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and figure out this is the height, and this would be the time. We're going to figure out the axis of symmetry so that I can figure the maximum time at the maximum height. Yes? Maximum time at the maximum height. So that would be negative b divided by 2a. So what's b? 12, and it becomes a negative because of that negative in front of it. So that would be negative 12 divided by negative 32, which I believe is 3/8 of a second. You can do it in the calculator if you want to. Go for it just to make sure that I'm correct. I just simplified, that's all I did. I used 4, right? 4 times 3, 12, 4 times 8, 32. Yay? Alright, now that's seconds, I want the height. Yes? So I'm going to substitute. So this would be negative 16, 3/8 squared, plus 12 times 3/8. And then calculator takes over after that. Let's not blur it out because some people, when they hear the answer, they don't want to do anything else. They don't want to try it out. All right. So how can I figure out if I'm going to be able to make that jump? Change it to a decimal, definitely, because I need to compare it to that 2.5, right? I need to compare it to that guy, that 2.5. So I'm going to take it, make sure that I change it to a decimal. What is 9 divided by 4? Okay, so is that guy going to be able to make the dunk? No, sadly, no. So, no dunk. He missed it by 0.25, by 1/4 of a foot. By a couple of inches, actually. And then hope that when he lands, he doesn't break an ankle. Just saying. All right, let's go to the next one. The driver is standing on a platform 24 feet above the pool. So there's your platform. And you got somebody that's going to go ahead and dive, right? Dive. No, they're not going to die. Hopefully they're not going to dive. All right. So X would be your time. H would be, I'm sorry, Y would be your height. This is your function. The diver is standing on a platform 24 above the pool. So that's your starting point, right? That would be S. He jumps from a platform with an initial upward velocity of 8 feet. So that would be your middle term. So Y equals negative 16x squared plus 8x plus 24. Very good. These are nice even numbers. I may want to factor instead of doing quadratic formula, unless quadratic formula is absolutely the one that you like to do, and then you just go for that one. I like factoring. I'm going to take out a GCF over here, because if I take a GCF of negative 8, the numbers are really, really small, and then it's really easy to factor. If I take a negative 8, I'm going to get 2x squared minus x, no minus, because negative times a negative will be a positive, right? And then minus 3. And then this is really easy to factor. 2 is 2 times 1, and 3 is 3 times 1. You don't have any other choice. Which means you got to multiply the 2 by the 1, the 3 by the 1, and you got to subtract them, right? Yay? So which one needs to be negative? The 3 or the 2? The negative 3. Or the 1, right? On the negative 3, right? So this would be 2x and x. 2 and 3 are not going to be multiplied. Minus 3 and plus 1. Thank you. Because the 2 and the 3 can now be multiplied by each other, right? You don't want a 6 in there. All right. So this would be plus 3 divided by 2. Correct? Plus 3 divided by 2. With me? And then this would be x equals negative 1. I'm definitely not using x equals negative 1. So how long will it take him to hit the water? 1.5 seconds. Thank you very much. 1.5 seconds. Yay? All right, let's go over 9. I think we started on number 9, but we didn't finish it. Is that correct? How far did we went to? All right, so the formula was h of t equals negative 16 x squared plus 49, because it didn't have any vertical velocity, right? All right, so x is, what is the value of x at the starting height? It will be 0. 0, 0, well, 0 seconds, and it's actually going to be 0. But what's the height? The x is 0, right? But what's the height? 49. Thank you. The height would be what? 49. When you plug in that x over there, then your x, this is 0, right? And the only thing that you got is 49. 49. So the anchor is 49 feet above the water, right? Yay? Do I need to make a picture or can we see it? You need a picture? You just want me to make a fool out of myself. So this is where the thing drops, right? That's a sailing boat. You can you see it? It's like a beautiful sailing boat. It's a sailing boat. Falta de respeto. ¿Tú ves cómo me trata mi estudiante? A todo el que está viendo este video, así como me tratan. I'm just saying. It looks beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, whatever. And it was a heck of a game. Whatever. All right, so what is the value of H when the anchor hits the water? All right, so let's go ahead and write the equation. I'm fine. No, she doesn't stay with me today. It's tomorrow and Wednesdays. I'm going to go to the table. So what is the value of H when the anchor hits the water? No, that's the starting height, right? So when it hits the water, isn't that the zeros? Yes? Yes? Yay? So can we do quadratic or something to figure this out? I don't think we can factor, right? I don't think 16 and 49 have a GCF in common. So let's go ahead and do quadratic formula, which is, it's okay because you don't have a B, right? So let's see, A equals negative 16, B equals 0, and C equals 49. Yay? So that would be 0, right? This is 0, correct? So all you get is this and that, right? Are you with me? Yes? All right, so that will be negative 4 times negative 16 times 49 divided by 2 times negative 16. And then remember, 1 is plus, and whatever you get, just put a plus or a minus in front of it, right? Because there's nothing to add or subtract. Does that make sense? Because it's a 0. All right, so you only need to do this one. You don't need to do second entry and go all the way and change that plus into a minus or that minus into a plus. So can we do that and see what we get? Don't just look at me. Let's work. Did we do number 10? Yes. Okay. So this is the last one. And then those that finish can leave. Those that not are mine. Ha 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 ha. All right, what do we got? Negative 7 fourths and positive 7 fourths? Yes. So we're definitely not taking this one, right? So it has to be the positive one. Now, what is the value of H, which is the height? Yes, we do want positive people. So, shh. That's the seconds. We need the height. So what do we need to do now? Substitute. Be nice. Oh my God. Shh. Be quiet. Both of you. Come on. Work. Shh. Work. Yes, you can say it, Hector. 21 feet? Did you say 21? 21? All right, Hector is saying 21. Is Hector correct? You guys are so freaking nice to each other. I love this. Yes. Is it 0? Alright, so I'm going to stop because I'm not talking over you. That's just completely rude. And my mother did a good job with me. So this is 0? Alright. Alright, let's do the next one. The starting velocity is 0. After how many seconds will the anchor hit the water? If the starting velocity is 0. That would be 74 seconds, right? We just did it. So 1.75, I think? Yes? This would be the height equals 0 feet. And then over here would be x equals 7/4 seconds, which I believe is 1.75. I'm not sure. You can double check. Are we good?